Okay, we are, do you guys see it recording? I don't see it recording. I think it is. Okay, it is. Perfect. Good morning, everyone. This is Tuesday's session. It's June 2nd, and we are at the first half of the week talking about strategic plan and eating on the go. So Kay, before the recording started, she was actually sharing with us a few insights. And Kay, you don't have to talk right now if you're right in the middle of something. But if you want to share what you were talking about before, since we started the recording, that would be great.
Oh, yes. I was just saying earlier that I love this portion because Trish and I had done training before, but I had kind of, I don't say I forgot about it, but I had kind of forgot about the 5 key principles to business and how important each of those are. So I've already started writing on my whiteboard at home again, making my little notes, Roxanne, because I had never thought about keeping your menu closed.
Oh, good.
I like that. Thank you, Kay, for sharing. That's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Roxanne, on that note, not only keeping the menu closed, but I love that you gave us permission to be assertive. Because here's what happens when I go to a restaurant with my mom. We go to a restaurant and I order something special, and my mom's eyes get like this big.
Is why I'm not helping.
Okay, Philip, you're not on mute. Let's see. Hold on.
I am.
You're not. I just muted you. So I go to a restaurant and my mom's eyes get this big because I order something that's not on the menu. And she's like, oh, is that allowed? And I'm like, yes, Mom, it's totally allowed and it's okay. And she doesn't feel assertive enough to make those choices. And my mom is not going through the program online work, but she's on the Facebook group and she's also watching these videos recorded. And she loves them. So Dr. Roxanne, I love that you said it's okay to be assertive because Mom's going to watch this.
Yeah. No, and that's a really important point because think about it. I mean, when we put it back in perspective, we are buying the food. What difference does it make? I mean, how we're having the food done, is it not any more difficult than probably how they're doing it? So, I mean, we're paying for the service to get the food. And restaurants now are so open to it because so many people are gluten sensitive, dairy sensitive, are allergic to a lot of things now. And restaurants know that and they want to cater to those people. So now is the time more than any that it's easy to do that.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, Regina, we saw you pop in.
Hello, everyone. I'm here. I'm tuned in. I'm just running late, so I'm checking everything out from my phone.
No worries.
All right.
We got you covered. Does anybody else want to share an insight from this week's first part of the homework?
I have something else.
Go ahead.
I loved that TED video. That guy, and I forgot we'd watched that too, but as I was watching, I was like, man, this dude is spot on. And I loved the video, and I love how he brings it all together with the Wright brothers and that other guy who nobody knows who he is. And so that's an excellent video, and I appreciate you putting that on there.
Thank you, Kay. I appreciate the feedback. I know it can get arduous, right, with the amount of work that we're asking you to do in the background, and I know that was a 17-minute video. So I appreciate that you watched it because I think it's important to take that lesson right now versus it coming later in the program. Philip, go ahead.
I want to go backwards if I can and ask Dr. Roxanne a question about, I was listening last week, y'all were talking about sodas, and I don't touch them during the week, but on Saturday and Sunday, that's my one guilty pleasure, is 120-ounce Dr. Pepper, and I literally look forward to it. I love it. It makes me happy. Is it really just doing that much damage? Because I need my Dr. Pepper.
Right. So you're saying you do it one time a day? One time a week?
On Saturday and Sunday, each day.
Right. Okay, so I would maybe, okay, so the 20-ounce Dr. Pepper probably has 20 to 30 sugar packs in it. I haven't seen a 20-ounce Dr. Pepper. I'd have to see the sugar grams. So you take the sugar grams, divide by 4. So the question is that a lot of sugar? Well, you know, when people do 3 shots, it's about that much sugar. Three whiskey shots is about 20 sugar packets. 2 or 12 ounces of wine is about 20 sugar packets. So you just got to pick your poison. It's okay if you, but once, it's like drinking. I'm not saying you have to stop drinking, but if you just do it on the weekend and during the week, you know, pretty much try to do better, I think that is okay. You're still going to progress. But what's going to happen in time is that 20 ounces is going to make you sick. You're going to start noticing when you drink it, you're like, ugh, when you get halfway through it, as your blood sugar gets more balanced, you're going to figure out that that's just too much. And you're not going to be able to.
Can you see it, Dr. Roxanne, or is it too little?
It's too little. Wait, maybe if I make you big.
Oh.
Let's see, speaker view. Okay, so that has 66 grams of sugar. So 66 divided by 4 is like, what is that? Is that like 15? A little bit more than 15? Whoa. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So that's a lot of sugar. But again, now let me show you something.
Just to go get her packages. I know where she's going. Hey, Edith.
Okay, this right here, this Mason cup, this is equivalent to 20 sugar packets. So it'd be like, this is my son. He used to drink Dr. Pepper in college, and I was trying to show him how much sugar's in it. And I was like, here, just add water to this and drink it. And he goes, what, you trying to kill me? And I'm like, no, this is what you're doing. So when you put it in perspective, you know, if this was alcohol, I'd probably say it's worth it because it will make me feel calm. But that you just have to understand that whether it's alcohol, whether it's sugar, it still possibly could make you not feel good the rest of the day, but it's not going to hurt your whole progress overall. Really,
okay.
That's our goal. Monday through Friday, do great. Saturday and Sunday, have your cheats.
So
All
my question is the trade-off for like the diet soda, which is the worst of the evils, all the chemicals instead of the sugar, or what?
Right, so that's a good question. So this is how I would answer it. My family is diabetic. A lot of my family members are diabetic. And I know that I don't process sugar very well. If I really wanted a Dr. Pepper, and I have done this down at the beach, a cold diet Dr. Pepper after you've been out in the sun, there's nothing better than that to me. It tastes really good. So I get the little diet Dr. Pepper. I mean, not in my house now, but I don't, if I had to choose between doing the sugar and some, for me, picking the sugar is the worst evil because it really makes me feel really, really bad. Like, you know, an hour later, I feel terrible. But the other question too is what people don't understand. There's a lot of people that do a lot of diet drinks, and what we're finding out, research is saying, now this is me just also out the box, but people are starting to say this as well. On our tongue, we have a bunch of, what are they called? Taste buds. And one of our taste buds is for sweet. So back in the day, they didn't have these diet drinks, or they didn't have these sugar-free stuff. So science thinks that when you drink something sweet, even if it's artificial sweetener, your pancreas is still going to say, whoa, we got some sugar, let's shoot out some insulin. So a lot of times when I take people off their diet drinks, they actually do start losing weight because they're no longer squirting that insulin into their system because they've triggered the taste bud.
What about Sweet and Low? During the week, I drink a lot of tea.
Yeah, that's an artificial sweetener. So it could, exactly what I was talking about. When people are trying to lose weight and they've done everything right, that will be the last thing I'll say, you know what, decrease your sweeteners, because possibly it is creating, because when your body is making insulin, you're basically storing fat, or it's being uptook into your cells. So you want to just be careful with that. But again, you know what, we can run, but we can't hide. We got to find better bad choices to where we still can enjoy life. So as long as you're progressing and you feel good, you know, then I would just continue to, you know, enjoy life. But Where it becomes a problem is when you're very young and very old. Research shows that your brain doesn't do well with those aspartame and those chemicals. So in the age group we are in, it is still okay.
All right, I see Philip. He keeps putting his head down like, man.
Wow.
All right, so
it tastes good.
I know it. I get it. And we're still on insight. So the insight behind that is, holy cow, look how much sugar is in the things that that we're drinking, right? That we're putting into our bodies. And I think that's super insightful. So does anyone else have an insight from this week's homework? Everybody's raising their hands.
Trish, can you hear me, Trish?
Yes, ma'am, Regina, go ahead.
Again, I'm gonna, just listening to you guys talk with Philip, I need to make it a goal to cut back on my Splenda. But what I'll do is, when I'm out of this big 400 pack, I'll stop, but I will reduce it. The insight I wanted to jump on the call was, you guys mentioned the video from Simon Sinek, and I just want to share that when I had a free consultation with Trish walks the talk, because she had shared the importance of the why with me a long time ago. I finally incorporated it in my BNI 60-second commercial or education, and I got more referrals when I used my why. Actually, it was my 10-minute bio. But I got so many referrals because I shared my why. So I just wanted to let you guys know that it really does work, and Trish practices what she puts out there in the video. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Regina. All right, Gretchen, I think you had a hand up. Go ahead.
I did. After reading, I highlighted and double underlined and starred. That's what just really called out to me is how many plates can you spin? How many plates can you get spinning in the air? And that just really talked to me, because in my business, it's cyclical. And when it's at the top, it's like, oh my God, I can't do all these plates. So that really spoke to me.
Good. I like that, Gretchen. And it really is leaning back on your areas of awesome and concentrating in that space instead of trying to spin all of the plates that you're not awesome at all of the time. And not to disclude the men here, but as women, we tend to do a lot of that just because, right? We want to be perfect mothers. We want to be perfect wives. We want to be perfect friends. We want to be perfect workers. We want to be perfect business owners. And I'm not saying that men don't want that as well, but women tend to spread themselves way too thin, trying to be awesome at everything. And we need to forgive ourselves and decide, what are we most awesome at? Do more of that and offload the things that we're not good at. Okay, good. I like that. Roxanne?
So one thing that was interesting to me, because I'm trying to put a business plan together, and with the stuff that I do with my wellness stuff, and I feel like I walk my talk, so I am doing what I feel is comfortable for me and who is me. But what was very interesting, a great insight, was I feel like everybody needs my information, because everyone wants to feel better, have more energy, and wants to live at 90 years old still like rock climbing or whatever, right? So I feel like everyone needs, I have something everybody needs. But what was interesting is when they were talking about, know what your why is because you want to do business with people who believe what you believe. I mean, so I'm thinking, wow, that's totally different, because what I need to focus on my business plan is making sure I get out why I am doing this, because I was heavy when I was young. I couldn't lose weight. I was on tons of diet pills. I couldn't lose weight. I had no one to talk to. I really wanted to die. I mean, all that stuff. And now, and because of that, it motivated me to want to help people, right? I want to kind of like, I've been there and I want to pull them out. So that's what I need to focus on with my business plan. Not that, hey, do you want energy? Do you want to lose weight? I got the plan. I need to change that. And that was a huge insight, because that's like what MLK did versus what that TiVo guy did.
Yeah,
so that
absolutely.
Was huge.
Thank you. You guys, I've gotten goosebumps twice today already. You guys are awesome. Rose, talk to us.
Okay, so we actually really focus on the why in network marketing. We have to sit down with really our new consultants all the time and say, we need the why that makes you cry, or discover your why. And we have all these workshops on how, how to get to your why. But I've never seen this, the little target. I thought that was so important, and I'm blown away because I can implement that today with my entire organization. But it goes more deeper than just, what's your why, but it's why the why, why you need a why, and how important it is. But I loved how it broke it down, the why, the how, the what, because my gosh, you could use that in everything, right, doctor?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, why do I need to lose weight? Why?
Right.
So I just thought that was, that video blew my mind. I got like halfway through it and I was like, okay, I got it. I know, and I've got to finish it, but I really think I'm an expert now. Okay.
Yeah, Rose, if you have the time, definitely go back and finish that video, because he makes a few more points about where people are in the buying cycle based on the what, the why, and the how. And that would be very important to you and your team as well, I think. All right, any other insights? Wow, you guys are amazing. So Cheryl had texted me and said she loved everything. It was hard. I think that was her insight. It was hard. She didn't give any more details than that. So hopefully she can circle back around with us when she's not driving. All right, what about wins?
I did not eat out over the weekend.
It's a huge win.
The best bad choice was we actually kind of trolled the streets, and we were like, what about Chick-fil-A? What about this? And my daughter was like, what about Wingstop? That's real chicken. I was like, what about if we go home? And I basically made the food at home and tried to make it feel like we ate out, but called it a burger, even though it was turkey in a corn tortilla,
Right.
Look, you could eat it like a burger.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just didn't eat out at all, but it felt good to feel like I was geared with, how to eat out if I wanted to eat out, but I chickened out. I blamed it on the riots. I was like, we don't know what's going on out there. We're in League City. It's very unlikely there'll be a riot, but she brought up Popeyes, and I was like, a guy died in line for Popeyes. I was like, we're not doing anything. We're going home. So yeah. So my daughter was bummed out that we ate at home instead of out at all.
That's a huge win, Rose, and that's mindset. Mindset, right? You're like, nope, no, I can't do it. I'm just going to go home and make a meal. That's huge. Congratulations. Gretchen?
So mine is kind of twofold. So my husband has all along eaten very small meals in every few hours, although it's high carb. It's all the wrong stuff. And so I wanted to share, I was hoping that he would see, that I could incorporate and we could do this together. But since I've done my DISC assessment, I know that that's really difficult to, so he just has been watching me. And so I've now offered to make him extra little turkey patties and put them in the fridge so that when he does his little meals that he's grabbing that instead. So that was a huge win for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is. That's awesome. And I also had a win, like this business plan I'm thinking in my head. It was so funny. I was walking up the stairs. I was talking to my son about something, and I was like, oh, and I have to do this. And as I walked up the stairs, I'm like, you know what? This is just a lot. I don't even need to do this. I love what and I went through that process, and very quickly I'm like, stop it. It's the railroad tracks. There's just stuff on it. Just clear off some of that stuff and get to the next part of the track. And then that was it. That was a fleeting thought. I didn't let it grow. It was quick. And then I was like, no, you can. So it's like little, and then Colton, I came downstairs and told him what I said. And he was like, okay, so it's just baby steps. Like, just focus what's in front of you. You don't have to look at and I was like, I know. So this is great. This is good for me because it's like I like things done now. And so the process sometimes is painful, but it was a win. I was like, no, I can do this, just little baby steps, one thing at a time. So I love that. That was that was a big, huge win. Because that's why I think people quit doing what their awesomeness is, because it just seems like a lot.
That is huge for you.
Yes.
I've known you for a long time, and you want things now and right now.
Yes, and I'm the kind of person, if there's something on the track, I'm like, I'm ninja, I'll just jump around it. I'm not gonna deal with it.
Oh.
Any other wins?
I had one.
Go ahead, Edith.
So I've been thinking about for a long time, okay, I want to lose weight, I want to do this, and I never put a number to it or maybe a date. So a huge win for me was to actually, okay, let me think about this, going through the whole goal, setting and everything. And so I put a number to it and a date, and then I had my husband do it too. I went through the questions and I asked him. So he had no idea why I was asking the questions, but it was, like a good thing for us, so we can be focused on our goals and the specific goal of, getting to that target weight. So that was a huge win for me.
Yes.
Congratulations. Look at Edith taking the business part and marrying it with the health part. I love it. Congratulations.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's exactly why we put this program together, right, Roxanne?
That's exactly right.
Awesome. So I had a win. Roxanne, the last, it's only been 2 days, so Monday and Tuesday, and I think I did it on Friday as well. I had my hard-boiled egg. So I gave up the shake first thing in the morning. I haven't given up the shake completely.
That's okay.
But first thing in the morning, I'm having a hard-boiled egg and half of some kind of sweet pepper. So I'm just cutting it into slices, and that's what I'm having for my first meal of the day after my workout. And I feel better. I have a lot of inflammation and pain. I had herniated discs in my neck a couple of years ago that I still kind of fight with. And I know if I put too much sugar in my body, but I didn't realize where it was coming from. So having that meal first thing in the morning, and it's working. I have a very sensitive stomach. I can't usually take heavy food first thing in the morning, and it's working for me. So thank you very much for that advice. And now we're having to boil lots of eggs because my husband eats hard-boiled eggs all the time, and so it's working for me. So thank you.
That's awesome. Good win.
Yes.
And that dairy causes inflammation, so you're going to stop that dairy.
Yeah, and I have definitely put the dairy to the side. So that shake is vegan, so there's no dairy product in it. And I don't like cheese anyway. Cheese doesn't like me, and I don't like milk. It's some not healthy cheese. Whole cheese, like not the processed crap, I will eat every once in a while, but I'm trying to avoid it. And my dairy problem, it shows itself in my skin on my arms. So that's how I know if I've had too much dairy. You were talking about that the other week. So yeah.
Right.
Yay.
Yeah. And so you're not doing those, what was it? Birthday cake protein bars?
Nope. Gave them up, sister. Not buying them anymore.
and that's interesting what you just said, because one of the things I tell people that if they're sensitive to a food like dairy, they'll have on their arms right here, they'll get like, I call it goosebump skin. So it's like they have goosebumps and it's on the side of their arms. And that's a huge indication that you're dairy sensitive.
And for years I had it and didn't realize it until I had given up dairy for a while a few years ago, and it went away. My husband was the one that noticed it. And I could feel it coming back, not realizing that those Quest bars I was eating had all kinds of crappy junk. We get lazy.
Yeah. Trying to
Hey, Roxanne.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead, Julia.
Okay, so the little chart that Dr. Roxanne gave us, my husband found it on the printer and we put it in front of our fridge. So I'm going to start practicing on using that. I know I text Dr. Roxanne on a couple of things because it's a little, even though there's a lot of sugar but less ingredients, I guess it was just a concern that I wanted to know because I never really knew the right answer. So thank you for that.
And I'm going to tell them what she did. She showed me 2 labels. She showed me a picture of sugar-free maple syrup and then real maple syrup that was organic and everything. And I was like, well, let's look at the sugar grams. One had 5 alcohol sugars and the other had, I don't know, like
48, yeah.
grams of sugar. So I was like, okay, so let's look at this sugar. So even though sugar-free, a lot of people have that idea that sugar is better than the artificial sugar. In some cases, that's absolutely right if you're only doing little bits of sugar your lifetime. But people who are diabetic, sugar is sugar. And the other sugar is the one that's less, of course, would always be the best for you.
Yeah,
so sugar alcohols is still a form of sugar, but they would be better than the regular sugar.
Yeah, thank you for that. And then, we always have like our little cheat meals, and Dr. Roxanne's like, you can eat what you want to, have your, so even though we ate bad, it was like a good bad. We found these cauliflower crust pizzas at Aldi. Most of them are really nasty, but actually that one was really good. So that was good. And then for dessert, instead of eating like a big old bowl of ice cream, it was just a little bowl.
Good.
So
that's a win.
Yeah.
Hey.
Nice.
That's huge. I did not get a burger.
Miss Kay, did you have something?
Yes. So I know none of you guys like cheese. I love cheese. So I try to do like feta cheese. But I try to make sure it's real goat cheese. Is that a better option than dairy cheeses, Roxanne? You're frozen, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
It's a frozen pretty smile, though.
It is. At least she wasn't making a funny face. Oh, Roxanne. Yeah, I'm curious about that as well, Kay, because I try to eat better cheese if I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Cheat. All right. We lost her. There she is. All right. There you are.
Sorry, my thing broke. I mean, my power went out.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's not
Okay,
good.
I'm back.
All right. Did you hear Kay's question?
No, what is it?
Okay, go Kay.
So like I said, I love cheese, but I try to stay with more like goat cheese, like real cheese. I mean, real goat cheese. Right. Is that a better option?
Yes, yeah, it is. And you'll know right away because a lot of times, like if I have real cheese, I can feel it in my stomach. If I have goat cheese, my stomach doesn't hurt. So you just have, the only thing you have to be careful about when you go to grocery stores, they do have cow's milk cheese that they try to taste like feta. So just be careful with that. As long as it's real feta, then that's better.
Okay. Are there other items out there than feta?
Some people aren't necessarily sensitive for whatever reason. Regular cheese, they're sensitive to. Mozzarella, they don't have as much of a reaction to. But that's the very small population. So I basically just tell people you can do a cheese from anything other than a cow. So goat cheese, if there was chipmunk cheese, you could do that. I mean, any kind of milk from an animal that they convert to cheese.
I'm trying to picture milking a chipmunk.
It might take a while.
Trying to wrap around that.
So anyway, so I would just stick with goat. And I mean, even like lamb, I mean, of course that's not that, in the States, that's not something big, but yeah, just any other animal other than a cow.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Does anybody have any other wins? And we can jump back into questions. All right. So what questions do you have this week? How can we help you? Go ahead, Gretchen.
All right, I'll go. All right, so I'm still working on my plan. I mean, when does my plan really need to be done for us as we're progressing? I mean, should I have it done completed during our break next week or what? Talk to me.
So is it your strategic plan, Gretchen, that you're talking about? Are you creating your strategic plan as a personal strategic plan, or is it something more focused on your business, or both?
It's both.
Okay, so here's what I will tell you. There's no deadline. It's up to you. This is your program. If you need help with it, I'm happy to help you with it. You don't have to complete it this week or next week. You don't even have to complete it before you get to the end of the course. I hope that you will, but I'm happy to help you with it. There's no deadline for that. It's really up to you and what you have time to do. I think it would be great to take your break week next week and pull that together. And there's some other exercises, and I'm happy to throw a few other worksheets up in the Facebook group. I'll make my note right now that you can use to build that plan. Go ahead, Gretchen.
Additionally, in the break week, I'm just curious, if I do need to reach out to either of you, are you available next week? Absolutely. While we're on break?
Yeah. Roxanne and I are actually meeting, as usual, next week to do some planning. So if you guys need anything from us, we won't let you jump online with us, but you can call us. We're focused on something else next week. But yes, we're absolutely available. And I know Roxanne gave her phone number. You guys are welcome to text me as well. It's 281-217-4951. You're absolutely welcome to reach out to me anytime if you have questions. All right. Any other questions from you guys?
I actually have a question. So this is for Dr. Roxanne. So Phil, you're just going to have to hear this. I know you're the only guy on here, but you're going to have to hear it. So I had some lab work done for my hormone testing, for my hormone cream, my bioidentical hormone cream. And the...
See Philip raise his hand.
So, I want to know, one of the factors was high, and it was basically the marker that says you are postmenopausal, which doesn't surprise me. I pretty much figured that. Does your diet and your food choices, do they affect like your hormones? I mean, I know wine, you know, if I drink wine at night, it can give me hot flashes, but like food choices during the day, will they affect your hormones and your whatever, hot flashes or whatever?
Yes, the answer is yes. And the reason why is that when your blood sugar is high or low, there's an enzyme that is turned on. And what that enzyme does is it turns, it actually takes your estrogen and converts it to testosterone. So that's why when you talked about your drinking, you had the hot flashes, is because if your sugar goes up and it's on the high side, this enzyme is turned on, it takes your estrogen, converts it to testosterone. So now, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, as people age, women get more manly, men get more womanly. And the reason is because, I mean, you know, men start getting kind of lazy and they sit around and they start crying at things that normally they didn't. I mean, it's actually a gender reversal. And the reason for it is because as their blood sugar gets high, and I tell men this all the time, men that are getting testosterone shots because their testosterone's low, if their blood sugar is going high anytime during the day, what they're doing is they're taking their testosterone and they're converting it to estrogen. So even though they took an injection of testosterone, if their blood sugar goes high, their testosterone converts to estrogen. Women, it's the opposite. When your blood sugar goes high, your estrogen is converted to testosterone, which makes your estrogen balance different. So now your estrogen progesterone balance is so unbalanced that you will start having worse menopausal, side effects. So I have a lot of women that come see me because they want their hormones balanced. And the first thing I do before we even talk about any kind of hormones is I get their blood sugar balanced, and I might get them a little bit of DHEA, which is a precursor to testosterone. And then I might actually help them boost up their progesterone, and then they don't have the issue anymore. So it truly is, diet is huge, because even when you're taking all these hormones, if your blood sugar is out of whack, you are going to create an unbalance even though you're taking the hormones. So if you're taking estrogen, that's going to get converted to testosterone. So balancing your blood sugar throughout the day, especially for women over 50, is huge. Same with men too.
Yeah, so I guess you and I could just chat independently, because I've had some people lately tell me that they don't even like the bioidentical hormones anymore.
Yeah.
When I first started doing this, that was like all the rage.
Yeah.
But there may be other products that I can use that might be more effective. And now would be the good time before I refill my $100 cream.
Yeah, definitely. We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll reach out to you.
Oh, sounds good.
Rose, did you have a question?
Yeah, so I'm working on this sheet right
Yes.
there. And whenever I've done a goal workshop, it's always been, I get it. It was explained to me as, you need immediate goals, and then basically 90-day goals for your 1-year goals, and then your ultimate goal. I liked how you did the actions, projects, goals, and then the vision, the true vision. Is there a way that you could share anonymously? I don't care, but if you've got somebody who actually reached success with you, maybe their goal sheet on how they laid it out, because this is kind of hard for me on how to put actions into projects that achieve goals, and then the ultimate vision is
yeah, absolutely. And that's also great feedback, Rose, because I think creating a video from me around that particular worksheet could potentially help, as well as sharing an example. So yeah, I will do that. The easiest way for me to do that, kind of as we're in the middle of a session, is to share it on Facebook. But I will update the course for the next iteration of the class. So yeah, I will do that.
One more question. This is to Philip. Is that in sync?
He can't hear. He's on mute. He can't stand to hear about hormones.
Oh, yeah. Shut us off.
And I am pretty sure that it is. He loves boy bands. Loves them. All right. Let's see. Example. Goal. Sorry, you guys. I'm making a note. If anybody else has a question, please speak up. Anyone? So Roxanne, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a quick question. I know that if we have a goal of losing weight, I know that not taking alcohol is one of the suggestions. So what would be, in case that you do go out, as if Kay say no, if you go out, what would be like a good option?
I'll run further. I'm sorry.
Maybe not. But maybe like my husband and I just got a bottle of tequila. Maybe if you just want to just take a couple of shots and that's it. That's what we thought, because possibly doesn't have any calories. But what would be your suggestion?
Okay, so first of all, Kay is exactly right. I love red wine. I drink, and I also like champagne. And it depends on if it's hot outside. I love champagne. If it's cool outside, I like red wine. But how I do it is because I know now, because I eat so clean, I don't need to drink as much. When you eat pretty clean, now pretty much I can do a half a glass or almost a whole glass of wine, and if I do more than that, it doesn't make me feel better. So when you start doing this, alcohol actually is processed much faster in your body, and so you get that buzz quicker, and you don't need as much liquid. However, one thing that I tell everybody, like when I am getting ready for some kind of competition and I have to be on a diet and I just really, really want a little bit of alcohol, like a shot or something, I will work out, like I'll go for a run, and when my cells are so depleted with glucose, then I'll drink something, because if it dumps, now it has more place to go because my cells are empty of all the glycogen. So that's a great thing to do after a run or something like that. I come in, I pour a little glass of wine, I sit on it, and I'll probably eat like an hour, hour and a half after that. And that is, so now I got the dump, but my cells aren't full from food, because the problem with a lot of times when people go out to eat, they eat this big meal and they're drinking alcohol with it. So their cells are getting full just from their food. And now you're bringing excess sugar into and your body can't do anything with it. So it has to make fat cells to store the excess glucose. So if you're depleted and then you take a shot, then it's pretty much, you can probably do 2 shots. Now you got more space for it. So that's how I mitigate my drinking so I don't put on weight.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, and you said, Dr. Roxanne, earlier about the sugar that's in wine. Will you repeat that, the sugar packets in wine and alcohol?
Okay, so for 12 ounces of wine, that is equivalent to 20 sugar packets. Okay, so if you do 12, and I think in a bottle, I think there's 48, is it 48 ounces of wine or 40? I think there's, yeah, something like 30 ounces or 40 ounces of liquid in a bottle of wine. So you can imagine
750 ml, right?
750 milliliters, right? 750 milliliters. So I don't know how many milliliters are in an ounce. Does anybody know that?
I can
No,
ask Siri.
Yeah.
Like you can get about 4 glasses out of a bottle, right? 4 or 5 glasses. So
It depends on how big the glass is.
There are
maybe
30,
only one.
30 milliliters in an ounce.
30 milliliters in an ounce?
Yes.
Okay, so 37, what is 750 divided by 30? I don't have my phone.
Got it, Kay?
Yep.
Kay's doing the math.
25.
Okay, so in a bottle, we're looking at 45 sugar packets. Wow. In a bottle of wine.
Is one bottle a night too much?
45 sugar packets.
I'm just kidding.
Now, if you
Okay.
now
No, you're
it
not.
depends. If you go run a marathon or go do like 2
No, you're
CrossFit
not.
workouts.
He's not kidding. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's crazy. And then you said something about alcohol as well, liquor.
Yeah, so 3 shots, 3 like alcohol shots, like Patron, 3 Patron shots is equal to 20 sugar packets.
Wow.
3 beers is equal to 20 sugar packets. And I know what you're thinking is, well, 20 sugar packets won't even fit in 3 shot glasses. But the reason why is sugar alcohol is a bigger, it's a thicker chemical than just sugar. So sugar alcohol, that's why you convert it that way, because sugar alcohol is bigger so that it doesn't take as much to equal as much of the sugar dumping you're getting.
Wow.
So three shots is 20 sugar packets, 12 ounces of wine is 20 sugar packets, and 3 beers is 20 sugar packets. Yes, Philip.
With all that sugar, this is again why I feel we should all support Bill 420 sitting on the Texas Senate floor currently.
What is that? What is that bill?
420.
It's an herbal bill sitting out there right now.
An herbal bill. Well, I agree,
Philip.
whatever it is. That's funny.
Oh my goodness. Any other questions from you guys today? Is anybody having technical issues, Philip? I know that I created your login so that you could get into the tool. Are you able to see the coursework now?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay,
That's a few
perfect.
parts
I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
No, it's okay. You started late. I wasn't trying to get you on that. I just wanted to make sure you had access. Is there anybody else on the call that's having technical difficulties, doesn't have access to Facebook, or is having issues with the tool? I can. So Ellie sent me an email yesterday and said she was having trouble with the tool. I can pull a direct link to your profile if you need it. If something happens to your login, you're having any issues, I can just email it directly to you or text it. So if you're having issues, let me know. And Gretchen needs an accountability partner. Anybody else looking for a connection? Okay. So focus. So the rest of this week, if you haven't already done all of the homework for the strategic plan and eating on the go, there's a more in-depth explanation for this back half of the week on how to use the tools that Roxanne and I presented at the first half of the week, and we'll talk about that on Thursday. Any words of wisdom, Roxanne, moving into the second part of the week?
No, I think y'all are asking great questions. I think what I really do love, and everyone is noticing it, is I love that the strategic plan for your business even, and I think a lot of people don't realize that you need to be able to have the same kind of strategic plan for your health. You have to do that. Your health, I mean, if not, life gets in the way and you just never do it. A business, you're a little bit more motivated because you need to pay bills. Your health, you're not as motivated because you say, I'll do it later. So what I like about this is y'all are figuring it out, that your strategic plan for your business and for your health are just as important.
Yep. And you're firing on all cylinders if you're healthy to work better in your business, on your business, right?
Right.
Good. All right. Any parting words from any of you guys? You're all doing amazing work. I appreciate all of you being here every week to ask hard questions, or even the easy ones. No questions are dumb. Everything is accepted here. We're creating a community and trying to help each other, right? We're in this together. Any parting words from anybody or thoughts? All right. You guys are all amazing. Oh, go ahead, Julia.
So my daughter was at the grocery store yesterday at HEB, and she's like, Mom, what's the better oatmeal than old fashioned, right? So just having your kids just kind of switching their mindset and kind of watching you. She went to the lake during Memorial weekend, and I mean, she only started eating like 3 days before, but she felt a little bit better. And now they're going to go to the lake in 3 months for their birthday on August 17th. So, you know, I said, well, look at that as your goal, but we need to start now because it comes by really fast. And she's like, yeah. So me just being a little bit more accountable with her, just walking, you know, this is her first year like in college and working. She doesn't do water polo and swim team anymore. You know, tomorrow she's going to go get a gym membership to start swimming again.
Oh,
and
that's good.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with her over there. She's like, Mom, you know how to bargain deal. So you need to go with me. So I was like, okay. So just, you know, just the little improvements on your kids and making the choices. It's, you know, it makes you feel good. So thank you.
It does. And even if it's not your kids, it might be your mom, right? The people that are around you and living with you, it makes a huge difference when you're taking care of yourself. Other people pick up on it and they want to participate, right? They want to help you and then they want to help themselves. I think that's really awesome.
No,
Okay.
that's true, because not even your kids, but like your friends, your daughter's friends will, because they might not have the same, you know, I'm sure my kids think it was a curse living with me, but their friends love to come over and ask questions. So you could probably change someone's life without even realizing it, just because of them being around you. Colton.
Colton has a thumbs up. I love it. All right. Anyone else? You guys are all awesome and amazing. Have a great couple of days, and we will see you on Thursday.
Yay!
Bye, guys.
Yay.
Bye.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Bye.